strong words there, Michael.
Yes, they were strong words, Roland. And, you know, this is something that didn't have to happen. This is another scandal dealing with Trump, on top of flip-flopping on campaign issues, things of this nature. But, you know, there's a piece from NBCnews.com that talks about the Army says a Trump aide, quote, abruptly pushed aside an Arlington National Cemetery employee. And then the Trump campaign put out that the employee had some type of mental issue or something like that as well. We know the employee doesn't want to press charges, but this is utilizing dead soldiers, okay, for the purpose to promote the Trump campaign. Because they shot video. Now, they didn't just take pictures. They also shot video there as well. And they're using this as part of the Trump campaign. So this is and this is from a president who got 5 deferments, OK, who nobody in his family has ever served in the military. And this is somebody who doesn't understand the sacrifice that those who serve in the military make, the families make, and those who give the ultimate price make as well, regardless of whether you agree with the mission or the war, anything like that. So this is another example why he can never become president again.
Donald Trump, speaking of being an ass, made an ass of himself at Arlington National Cemetery earlier this week after they bum rushed a staffer there, then later called her mentally unstable. They've been criticized by a lot of veterans. The U.S. Army had to come out with a strong statement of rebuke of Trump's staffers. Well, the folks at Vote Vets, they were not happy at all by any of this. They dropped this ad.
We've got Trump on the run, scared. His insults about service members catching up with him. He's panicked. Losers and suckers, he called us, confirmed. Refusing to be seen with wounded warriors because it makes him queasy. Refusing to salute the fallen of World War I because he, quote, doesn't understand what was in it for them. Because he was afraid his dye job might run in the rain faster than he ran to a quack doctor when the draft board called his number, comparing his sexploitations with the likes of Jeffrey Epstein to the sacrifice of those who went in his place to Vietnam. Now, maybe the greatest insult of all, turning a military cemetery visit into a political stunt with cameras in tow. In Section 60, one of the most hallowed acres of all, and when an Army civilian official told them they were breaking federal law that bans politics and campaign cameras, Trump thugs verbally and physically assaulted her. Disgusting. Donald Trump, the grave markers veterans and military families drop a knee to, are not your political props. They represent the heroes we served alongside, men and women you could never measure up to, friends who lived and died by the oath we all swore to uphold. Something you will never understand, and why we're doing our damnedest to make sure no service member ever has to salute you as Commander-in-Chief ever again.
Yo, that is an ad right there. Major General retired Paul Eaton also talked to Vote Vets, and man, he did not hold back when it came to Donald Trump. Y'all check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paul Eaton, Major General of the United States Army, retired. Every year, my wife and I pay our respects to the fallen in Arlington National Cemetery. Some were killed in action, some have died of natural causes. It's a very emotive time for us. My father, Colonel Norman Eaton, and his co-pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Getchell, commingled remains are in Section 60. The remains of Lieutenant Ken Bollard, dear son of a close friend, Karen Meredith, are in Section 60. We have stood next to people crying, paying their respects to their sons, daughters, fathers. It's a very emotive event. To see a former president mugging for the camera should never, ever be Commander-in-Chief again for the Armed Forces of the United States. ever disgusting performance by former President Donald Trump. Thank you.
Strong words there, Michael.
Yes, they were strong words, Roland. And, you know, this is something that didn't have to happen. This is another scandal dealing with Trump, on top of flip-flopping on campaign issues, things of this nature. But, you know, there's a piece from NBCnews.com that talks about the Army says a Trump aide, quote, abruptly pushed aside an Arlington National Cemetery employee. And then the Trump campaign put out that the employee had some type of mental issue or something like that as well. We know the employee doesn't want to press charges, but this is utilizing dead soldiers, okay, for the purpose to promote the Trump campaign. Because they shot video. Now, they didn't just take pictures. They also shot video there as well. And they're using this as part of the Trump campaign. So this is and this is from a president who got 5 deferments, OK, who nobody in his family has ever served in the military. And this is somebody who doesn't understand the sacrifice that those who serve in the military make, the families make, and those who give the ultimate price make as well, regardless of whether you agree with the mission or the war, anything like that. So this is another example why he can never become president again.
Oh, absolutely. In a moment, I'm going to play for y'all this almost 8-minute video that they put together. And let me tell you something. It is a strong video. It's a strong video, Kelly, because they also lay out what will happen when it comes to Project 2025. Again, if Donald Trump goes back into the White House. And so he's always trying to tout how he loves the military. He loves veterans, but it's not necessarily the case. As you heard the retired General Eaton said, use as props. And so people need to understand the dangers that are in place if this, frankly, wannabe dictator, this just moral degenerate is back in the old office.
Yeah, I mean, the most recent scandal of 45 and the issue with the cemetery, Arlington Cemetery, I mean, it's beyond disgusting to me. I come from a family of veterans. I come from a family who are currently in the military. I thank them for their service every time that I get. But to see a former president be that disrespectful on hallowed ground, it's just sickening to me. But to your point about him not caring about the military, I don't think he cares about people. And that is clear in his rhetoric. That is clear in his policies. He says that he loves the military. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he associates victory with the military. He loves the ego trip that comes when you win something. He likes winning. He likes the ego boost of winning. He likes the ego boost of victory. And he ties that with military conflict.
But he also loves, Kelly. But Kelly, remember, he also loves the pageantry. Remember how he raved about the military parades of Kim Jong-un? And remember, he wanted that in D.C. Remember, he wanted, and they're like, dude, you just can't roll tanks on U.S. streets. Do you know how heavy they are? The damage they cause? He wanted one of those old Russian, I'm going to try to find the video, one of those old Russian military parades where they got the missiles and the tanks and they got all that stuff, and he gets to stand there in the middle of the generals. That's what he wants.
Dictators do. That's what dictators do.
But all of that is. But my point to that, Roland, you're right about what he wants and what he said he wanted. But all of that is tied to ego. All of that is tied to the perception of power. So that's where I'm getting at with it. If he could find a way to not use the tanks and still get the same response out of people regarding the perceived power, the perceived ego boost. I mean, all of this is tied to his ego. This is why he's obsessed with crowd size. This is why he was obsessed with virility and how agile he was, as opposed to Biden. That's why he was debating Biden on a political stage regarding golfing. It's all.
Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, so you can register for this full 12-week online history course. And I'm getting ready to, as soon as I finish this broadcast, we're going to jump in the class of my online school and start teaching class number 1. So these classes will be on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're running a little behind schedule today, so I had to get everything set up. But go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, scroll down the page. You'll see the second class that I teach, Black Resistance Movements, Christopher Columbus, the Haitian Revolution, and Black Power Movement, 1492 to 1968. We do that on Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So click right here to register for the second course. You can register for the course bundle for both classes on sale for $120. Click right here to register for the course bundle. This content is PG-13, so you can use this with your children also. I don't do a lot of cursing. It's nothing like that. It's a very visual class. So we have 200 slides in the PowerPoint presentation, video clips that we look at, book references, 80 to 100 articles. And then, we have class number 1 of Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade. Click right here to register for that. And the class lesson plan is here for the full course. You can download the class lesson plan. Okay, so there's a ton of information that we cover in this class. I'm just giving you a brief overview. Okay, so have you all learned anything so far? How do you all like this type of information? And who still needs to register for this class? So when we scroll down, we look at some of the other content that we'll cover. We'll look at archaeological discoveries that keep causing the scientists and archaeologists and paleontologists to push the timelines back. And these are archaeological discoveries that show an African presence in parts of the world earlier than people thought. Okay, so there was one good article, Recap Humans Are 100,000 Years Older Than We Thought. This is from the New York Post. We'll look at the lost city. There were 2 lost cities of Egypt. One, dazzling Aten, which was discovered a few years ago, but then also Tanis Heraklion, which was discovered about 2013.